السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته شيخ حاجي إسماعيل Sharif.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How you doing, bro?
Alhamdulillah.
We shaking hands?
Yes, sir. Corona can't stop us.
Hey. That's gonna make us sound a little reckless, but we've been quarantining with each other, kind of.
Yes.
So alhamdulillah, we're familiar with our aura, so
Right.
everything is good, inshallah.
Sure.
Alhamdulillah, how you been?
Allah, alhamdulillah, man. Life has been good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Just tagging along, man. Going with
Alhamdulillah.
life.
Just taking it as it comes. then.
Taking it as it comes, man. How about yourself?
Hey, good. Okay, so can I explain to what we're doing to the audience so
Yeah,
they can catch along?
Absolutely.
So the reason why I was happy that he asked me back is because this is not an interview. It's actually a conversation,
Yes.
which is a little bit different than what we used to do. So I'm not going to only be asking him questions. He's going to be asking me questions as well. So
Sure.
we're just going to keep going back and forth and see. And he was actually the first interview.
Yes.
The first interview that I did.
Yes. If you guys, go watch that one.
That'll make him go watch
That
it.
was a pretty bad
2
one.
years ago, man, first interview.
Don't watch that
I
one.
wanted to have him back on because I felt bad having somebody else back on for the second time. I don't know why. It's just I have no clue why, but that's just the way I felt.
Yeah.
But I've been good, man.
Alhamdulillah.
I've been good, man. Alhamdulillah. Going through the ups and downs of life, you know.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a beautiful roller coaster.
Yes, sir. It is. Definitely is.
Alhamdulillah. So if there's anything that's not fair game, let's just kind of move on past it. And for me, everything is fair game. You could ask me any question, and if I want to just deflect it, I'll be like, let's move on, you know?
All right. Bet.
All right?
Sounds good.
Okay. Can I just do a quick sponsors, announcements, and
Yeah,
updates?
absolutely.
All right, because I don't... in the beginning, I used to do all of it up front and then get into the conversation. But I found out it's better to get into the conversation and then, introduce whatever else is in there.
Let's do it.
All right, so primary sponsor, Ridwanullah.com, and it's an Islamic personal and professional development company that's designed to help you maximize your life and business in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you would like to sponsor this show, send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullah Organization at gmail.com. And this particular show is the financial maximization show. And this is under the Ridwanullah Organization as well. So just wanted to kind of put it out there so they understand. Oh, and by the way, the financial maximization show is designed to help you completely maximize your finances in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes.
How about that?
MashaAllah. That's dope.
Alhamdulillah. That's what's up, man. So that's the quick plug. Hopefully that'll be paying bills in the future, inshallah.
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 Is there anything else set up now? Currently, that's
Revenue one?
yeah.
Nah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I like that, man. Put me in the comfort zone. In the discomfort zone. In terms of sponsors, I've never had a sponsor for the channel, as sad as that sounds.
You could be the first.
Tell them, man.
Whoever's watching.
Yeah. I actually was I'm not proactive about it, and that's a part of the problem. And plus the channel being so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Such a beginner level, I'm still trying to find my footing. Which sounds crazy, man. I feel like can I be open with you?
Yeah.
I feel like I should be way ahead farther in life and business than I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, right?
No, that's everyone, right? They start somewhere and they see themselves like achieving other things and this and that. So I think that's very normal, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually
guess
a good thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just, just there and doing what you can and just doing these videos and not seeing the bigger picture, I think that's a bigger problem than
Yeah.
seeing yourself.
Appreciate that, man. I think that makes me feel good because I actually do see the bigger picture. And even if people don't see the growth, I see it. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So, alhamdulillah.
Some people may not understand it. Some people are like, what the hell is Xavier doing?
Yeah, I don't even. PG-13. Nah, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, so
But yeah, man. I think for me, it's like, and I'm making the whole conversation about me, but we'll get to it, inshallah.
that's fine with me.
I know that. I know that. So don't even gotta say that. I mean, you can remind the audience, but you ain't gotta tell me that. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't know. What that's just the raw nature of it. I lost my train of thought.
No, we're talking about what were we talking about?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. I think it's just the whole thing of feeling behind.
Yeah, feeling behind and
Yeah.
looking at the bigger picture and whatnot.
Yeah. And I'm starting to find my footing. Like right now, just focusing on the financial aspect of things, my mind is blown because I'm looking at different business models that are out there that are winning.
Right.
And just knowing that I'm taking so much from everybody and then making my own thing, like I'm beyond excited, bro.
No, this.
Like, wallahi, bro, beyond excited. And knowing the level of revenue streams that it could potentially have, even though I still have that limiting belief thinking just because I'm black and Muslim, I might not reach the levels that other people are reaching type of thing.
Right.
Because I feel like maybe, and you could tell me if this is true or not, I feel like, our Muslim people, they don't know how to, most of them I should say, they don't consider, ad spend and marketing and sales like other people do.
Yeah, and I think it's more lack of understanding how it works and what it does.
The ROI. Yeah. If they don't see a dollar attached to it, then it's like, what's the point?
That's the biggest. That's the biggest part.
The branding part of it is not fully understood.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's an actual thing and it works. I mean,
yeah.
It might not be as like organic as other people want it to be, but it's a real thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I have to wrap my head around as well, Like, there's people who understand the branding part of it, and I don't know why. Maybe this is part of the finance thing, but there's some people that understand the branding part of it, and then there's people who have to, be helped understood, and then the financial aspect of it. Because if you really look at it, like, majority of the tech companies, the big social media tech companies like Google, that's a search engine, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, most of them, they're search based and marketing ads based businesses,
Right.
So my target audience are Muslims, so I don't know how to, like get that up to where it needs to be, because it seems like majority of us are pretty much struggling in a way. Some of us are winning, alhamdulillah, but how many of the ones who are winning are spending on ads? Yeah. This is all right. Let's move on from there. Nice shirt, man.
Yeah.
Nice shirt. It goes well with you, man. Mashallah. I know you didn't expect me to say that. That's probably why I said it.
I appreciate it.
For sure, man. So it's what you've been up to? What's the big milestone?
Nothing much, man. I've just been living life, working, just trying to be busy, get things done, accomplish things.
Alhamdulillah.
Man.
Just going through the daily flow, huh?
Daily flow, man. Just trying to put myself in better situations every day.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Trying to put myself in better situations every day.
Every day.
I wish I could say the same thing. Yeah?
How about you, man? What's new in your life?
Like, what's not new, man? I guess just the ups and downs, man. And when I say ups and downs, I don't mean like I don't know, man. I feel like I'm the only person who says something like that. Like the ups and downs of life, and not in a negative way, because there are some painful moments in life and there are some like really great moments in life,
Right.
So yeah, just that, trying to
what are the
develop my
really
life.
great moments in life that you've come across so far?
Great moments? Well, there's a lot, man. I know maybe the next question is what are not the great moments too, but the great moments, I guess I'll put myself out there too, because I guess this has never been a conversation, because I'm more used to just digging into people,
Right.
asking them questions.
Right.
But for me, and I'm taking my time to think it through, so hopefully it's not uncomfortable for you or the audience.
Good.
But I feel like the biggest thing that I can remember right now is I've always been like system oriented, and I'm able to find a financial system that helps me achieve my financial goals, and I could use the exact same system for all other parts of my life. So that's been a huge one, because now like I actually know how I got what I'm getting, which was completely different than before. Like I would work hard and I got it, and I'm like, what did I do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like I got it. I'm like, I know how I got it. It's like rinse and repeat. Go back at it. Go back at it. And I think that's one of the highlight ones.
So you're saying you came up with the system?
Yeah.
Is that like a general system or specific to everything?
So it's a specific system that you could use for obviously finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what my business as of right now, at least part of it, is focused on. So I was able to, and after that conversation that we had, I was able to come back and like, because I'm always like developing it. It just never like fully comes together.
Right.
So I was able to find out a 5-step financial goals system that allows me to achieve my financial goals. But the actual system is so dynamic, I can actually utilize that same thing to achieve the goals in the other areas of my life, like the deen, which is the most important part of my life, right?
Sure.
Our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then the health and fitness, and so many other things that I'm doing. So that's the part that is like extraordinarily exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if it makes a difference, but to me, it's like a world of a difference that I achieved the goal, and I didn't know how I did it, and I'm stuck trying to figure it out. Versus I achieved it. No more figuring it out. I know how I achieved it, so I go back at it again, get the second thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Most people don't even care. Like,
Yeah.
you achieve a goal and they don't even look at how I achieved it or steps behind it. It's just to them or anyone else. It's really, I got to my goal and proceed, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, it's important to understand how you achieved it and what steps it took to achieve it,
Right.
to do that for the next step. Or
Right.
the next goal.
And keep repeating
Right,
it.
right.
And I guess the part that allowed me to kind of think that way is because one of my main business is like education, media, coaching, that kind of a bubble, training,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm like, my whole passion is to help people,
Right.
So I'm like, if I'm gonna help people, I have to know. First of all, I have to get what I'm looking to teach on, and secondly, I have to know how I got it, and then be able to teach upon that.
For sure.
So yeah, that was another like very, very interesting finding for me.
That's awesome, man.
Alhamdulillah. What about you? Like, what's been like the highlight or the success or the happiness?
For me, I think, like, you know how you said establishing a system?
Yeah.
For me, I struggle with that. Like, I try to establish a system, I try to put something in place, and then I follow it for maybe 2 weeks, a
A
month.
little bit.
Yeah, and then I fall off completely, and I go downhill from there.
Yeah.
But so following a system and having a system in place, it takes a lot of discipline, and
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's definitely helpful for sure.
Yeah.
So my struggle is definitely that I definitely need to come up with a system and
Like something that works personally for you.
yeah, exactly, and actually follow through with it.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, one time I'm like super motivated. I'm like, man, I can do this.
Yeah.
Another day I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and do absolutely
Just be a
nothing.
couch potato. I go
Yeah.
through those phases myself, man.
Exactly, man. So it's
How's the quarantine life impacted that?
you would think you do more because you're at home and
And you have
a
more
lot,
free time.
Yeah, a lot more time and all of that. But I don't know, man. Me personally, I would say I wasn't as productive as I could have been,
Mm.
and I realized that after the fact. When I was in the situation.
You're like, I'm about to dominate this month.
Right. But after the fact, I was like, what did I get done? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Well, not absolutely nothing, but not as much as I could have, right?
Yeah.
So the quarantine has been okay. It's been nice to have time off and whatnot, but I think I could have been way more productive and got a lot more things planned and future goals and things like that. If I really focused on that, then things would have been more productive. But
For sure.
alhamdulillah, it's been good. It's been good.
Alhamdulillah. I'm trying to get you to say you got married, man.
Yeah, I did.
You're going to get in trouble with the missus, man, you rookie. Come
Alhamdulillah.
on!
Alhamdulillah, I did get married. It's been great. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How's that experience been?
It's been good, man. It's been good.
Aside from the roller coaster.
Yeah, it's been great. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. That's good, man. That's good. Alhamdulillah.
You've been in the game longer, so
Hey,
mashallah.
hey.
What are you working on? 10 years?
Nah, getting there. Sounds crazy to even say, man.
Mashallah, mashallah.
What, 2012? End of 2012?
Nice.
7 years? Damn, man. That's crazy. Man.
7 years?
7 years, man.
Mashallah.
You know, when you were talking about, yeah, alhamdulillah, man. Everything's all gravy, you heard me?
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, does my accents and my, like, whenever I say stuff like that sound crazy to people, or does it sound crazy? I don't know if it sounds crazy to you.
Nah, I'm used to it by now. But sometimes your Tennessee accent comes out. You know.
My down south lingo.
Yeah, the down south.
Yeah.
That comes out here and there.
Alhamdulillah, man. Most people don't know that side of me.
Yeah?
Yeah, because when I'm in the professional circles, you know, not to say that this is not, but,
Right.
you know,
I remember the Tennessee van, the white van.
the white,
The
spokes.
Was this spokes?
I don't know.
The white. You guys came in with the white van with the like little rims on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. That was the South swag. I came to Utah with it.
Nashville, man.
Nashville.
Tennessee. You know how, like, you were talking about that micro example
Mm-hmm.
with, you know, wanting to do so much during the quarantine and, you know, feeling like you haven't, you know, gotten to do all of it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that point of me feeling like I'm falling behind, like not as far as I want to be in life and business, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and the crazy thing is, all these successful people,
Yeah.
like any successful people that you can think of, like they put in that work, man. They really,
Yeah.
like, they put in work. Like they, 10, 15 hours of just figuring things out, watching things, studying things, and putting all that stuff. We want, most of the people, all of us, myself included, we all want to be successful, right? But
Yeah.
putting in that work, it's where I like, at least.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, to me, I feel like sometimes I like it and sometimes I feel like I put in the work, but I'm not seeing the results.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am seeing some, I'm not going to say no results at all. Like, I get I guess when I'm talking about results, I'm talking about business, you know?
Right.
Life, you know, it fluctuates, but with business, it's like, damn,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
For sure. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're working your ass off. Excuse me.
I don't know how to bleep that, so you're going to have to apologize profusely for that one.
When you're working your butt off, you know, you're working endlessly and you're not seeing anything. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
Very tough. Not necessarily anything, but the progress or the outcome that you want to see, you know? And it's
Yeah.
not showing.
Yeah. Especially financially,
Right.
which the whole show is based on, but we're not really directly going at it,
Yeah.
you know?
Let's get in it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so money, right?
Son of a gun.
Yeah?
Money.
Eh?
Yeah.
What'd you say before when I said money?
Son of a gun. Money is it's one of those
Yeah.
in love relationships, you know.
Big time.
Yeah.
Why is that though? Like, why do we have such a bad relationship with money? I can answer my side, but I want to know from you. Like, why do you, and why do we? And you can start in any or stay at any of them.
I think the problem is growing up. You know, our parents, at least for mine, I'm gonna say majority of Somali parents.
Yeah.
Money is really like taboo. It's more of like
Taboo meaning?
like it's not like they're not really like don't go after money and this money can do this, money's gonna harm you, money, make it in a bad way.
Yeah.
Make money in a bad way.
Yeah.
And they're more focused on like go to school, get your degree, get your education for what? At the end it's money.
Get the money.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot more to it, but the base of it is get the money.
You're doing all that education, all that degrees, all that for what? For money.
Yeah.
But
I
then
like
they make it about like don't go money this, money that.
Yeah.
They put it in a bad way.
The mixed emotions, mixed
Right.
associations.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's some of the parts of why money is looked at in a bad way.
Mm.
But obviously a lot more. But
Yeah.
that's my take on it. What's yours?
That's true, man.
How do you see it?
I think it's pretty much the same thing where it's a taboo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then for me, it's like for the longest time I've been struggling with, obviously even till now.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm progressing in my finances, alhamdulillah.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had to go through to even get to where I'm at, which is like not even step one, I feel like. maybe it's a little bit further than step one, but I just feel like number one, before we even look at it from like a black Muslim's perspective, which is our perspective, living in the West, it's a human nature thing, right? Regardless of your faith, like we're all struggling with money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
But to me, maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm right. Like I just feel like being a Muslim, being conscious about, you know, intentions and sincerity and doing something for a purpose, I just feel like it's one of those things where it's extraordinarily hard because I feel like it's a man-made thing that we're trying to figure out how it really works in our natural life.
Yeah.
So that's the part that gets to me. And then the fact that, you know, we're having that, you know, one step forward, two step forward mentality where, you know, when the pain comes, everybody's like, go get the money, you know?
Right.
But then when everything else is okay, then we take a step back.
Right.
So it's like that part of it gets to me, and then I feel like a huge part of it for me is I feel selfish when I'm trying to build my finances.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's maybe it is, but it feels so selfish building my finances because I feel like I could utilize it for other things. But to me, and I'll let you chip in on this side of it too, is like, to me, there's nothing better for me to do with my finances than to help myself.
Right.
Because by helping myself, that puts me in a better situation to help other people. But if I just keep helping other people, it's like a resentment that's building up because I'm not moving forward in my life, but they are in a way, or at worst case scenario, they're not moving forward.
No,
So
it's tough.
that's the hardest part for me, man.
For sure, it's definitely hard, man.
Yeah.
Getting that money and then working towards something, and then that's why I say son of a gun, because it's just it's hard, man.
Yeah.
Getting that money and then trying to figure things out and putting things together and stuff's not an easy journey.
No, it's not, man.
It's not at all.
Sounds like our voices are going down right now.
So when it does, man.
Yeah? It's like, man, we don't know what to do no more.
Yeah.
Man. But, yeah, man. It's man, I'm kind of lost for words right now with it.
Yeah.
But I just want to normalize. The reason why I wanted to start the show is I wanted to normalize the conversations around money, finances, being financially well off as a Muslim, you know, within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because there's so many different outlets and platforms that are out there. Either one, they're non-Muslims, or two, they are Muslims pretending like they actually have something that's Sharia compliant when it's really not.
And there's a lot of that. Man.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah. And that's one of my like hit lists to kind of focus on, like, you know, really study with the scholars, you know, secular knowledge as well, and bring it together and actually see if a particular financial service out there is Sharia compliant or not.
Yeah.
So we can actually maneuver through that to be able to gain, you know, some level of success financially.
Right.
You know, halal success. Yeah.
It's ultimate goal, man.
For sure, man.
We need to figure that out. How to get to that point.
Yeah. That's what I love about these types of opportunities. I get to dig into your brain, you get to dig into my brain, and we conversate about something that helps us move forward, you know?
Right.
Why are you laughing? Talk to me.
No. I'm hearing you out.
Ah,
I'm hearing you out.
you got something else going on in your brain. Talk to me, man.
No.
Say it with your chest.
I'm hearing you out, man. I totally agree, man. Money is one of those touchy subjects, and you know, it's difficult.
Yeah.
When you got it, it's a problem. When you don't got it, it's a problem. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, when you got it, it's less problems, but bigger things to deal with.
Yeah. You know, one thing I've been learning about is like limiting beliefs. So by what we say, we can determine what we believe, right?
Right.
So when you say, what was it? More money? Essentially more money, more problems.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever, you know, less money, less problems? Is that generally... So just even those thoughts, I'm wondering if they're true.
There's one that says to you, I'd be... what is it? Like, more money... How do they say it?
Let's not get ourselves in trouble.
No, they say I'd die, or I'd be better off in a Lamborghini with my problems or something like that, right?
Hey, yay.
And it's
I think I probably heard about that, or you
something
probably
like
mentioned
that.
it to
Yeah,
me.
it's something like that. Just put it in a way like that, right?
Yeah.
But we only just, most people don't, we only see the money aspect, like, oh man, this guy's got a Lamborghini, oh man, this guy's got a mansion, blah blah blah. But them guys that do have that stuff, they're dealing with the law, man. Like,
Or PC, them gals as well.
yeah. Guys and girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going through some stuff, man. Like, one day I was driving, right, and I saw this guy had a sick ass car, sick ride.
Right.
He had a sick ride, right? It was a nice Lamborghini, open top and everything. Just cruising. And then he had his lady, I'm assuming it was his lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was chilling, I'm like, wow, man. For a second I was lost in thought.
Here in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, just here recently.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, wow, man, look at this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then we're stopped at a red light, and then I like stepped back and was like, man, this guy's probably dealing with this and this and this and going through this. Trying to figure out his finances. But I'm looking at him like, wow, man, this guy's got it all.
Yeah.
But in reality, Allah knows, but this guy's probably struggling with
so many other things.
Yeah, his next payment to that Lamborghini or the gas, or probably not the gas, but things like that.
Yeah.
That we don't see, Yeah.
Or maybe is that kind of an excuse to stay where we are?
Yeah, possibly.
That sometimes I think about that, Maybe that's true. Maybe that's a reason to explain where we are.
No, you can definitely have a Lamborghini and do all of that and still look good. I'm all for it.
Right. But it doesn't seem like that's the majority of the situation.
Yeah, like just even when you're broke, you have problems. So there's gonna be problems when you're rich in a Lamborghini. You're gonna have your own issues and things like that. Nothing's gonna change. Money's gonna put you in a better situation, yes, but does it solve the problem?
Yeah, true, man. Because I think there's more to life than just financial problems, even though the financial problems touches every area of your life.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the part that I struggled with so long, to focus on finances. I remember I remember when so this is when I'm still on my content creation journey, alhamdulillah. This is like the early days, maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And this is what you said to me once I did that.
Okay.
So I posted a video about money.
Uh-huh.
This is when I was like really struggling to post about money, talk about money. And I'll tell you something else that happened during the month of Ramadan, and maybe we can conversate about that as well.
Okay.
So I posted a picture with me like holding my little pennies, I don't know, let me see if I got $1. Don't look at my wallet right now. Look at this though.
Wow.
Whoa, baby! I don't know why we're so secretive about what we got. All right, I'm going too far with this. Let me get back to my normal routines. Okay, maybe that's another can of worms that I'm opening right there. But so I posted a picture of me holding like money,
okay.
and my thinking behind the scenes was, if I'm just gonna talk about money and just put the title about it, it won't be as illustrative, or it won't be as exemplified as if I showed the actual money.
Right.
So it'll catch people's eyes and they'll click on it, watch it, whether they do that or not. I feel like it increases the chances.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember we talked, in person or over the phone, and you're like, that doesn't seem like you, This seems way out of character. Like what's changed, and you're curious to know.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're thinking like that, I can only imagine what other people are thinking.
Right.
10 times. I wouldn't say worse, but like questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's going on with this dude?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that? What was the backstory behind that?
What was the intent with that? What were you trying to do?
Just overcoming the money problems, and helping other people do the same.
So you were thinking, let's say I take a picture, put it out there, show with money. How does that change that? Like, what is it?
Like, what
is it more? Is it more like for yourself, just to say, I'm out here and I'm doing this, or was it more of like to prove a point, or what?
Now, first of all, it was never to show off. Because if I was going to show off, I wouldn't do $5, $1. You know what I mean? Like I would go to the bank make sure I put 100 on there and put all the dollars in between and flex the 100. You know.
Right. Which
So
a lot of people are doing, but yeah.
Pretty much, and so for me, like to show. And I don't want to make myself sound like I'm better than I am, you know, because I got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point of it was to illustrate, you know,
Yeah.
to get first of all to get outside of my comfort zone, to have the cojones enough to, you know, picture myself and put it out there in social media with money as a Muslim wearing pretty much the exact same thing,
Right.
and then posting it with money. So therefore, I can step out of my comfort zone with money, and that stretching that comfort zone can become my new normal. Therefore, the reality and the relationship with my money gets better, and by doing so, creating that content, I help other Muslims do the same, if not better. That was like essentially the intention, even though it might have not come out like that.
Yeah. No, I understood it from the beginning.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I knew you understood it.
Yeah.
You were just trying to see the backstory behind it.
Right.
So if you're trying to see the backstory behind it, what are other people thinking?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, man. But how's the conversation so far?
I like it. It was good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Beneficial?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but
Let it out.
Maybe it's because I'm on the show, you know. No, but really, I think it's
Oh,
it's better
let's
when you're having like conversations like this rather than, you know, like an interview style.
Yeah.
I think it's more general.
Because I get to share my thing, you get to
Right.
share your thing. I get to learn from you, you get to learn from me.
Right.
Whereas one-sided interviews just, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's just open. Like, you know,
Yeah.
anything can come up and we can discuss about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas an interview, it's, you know.
Wait for me to
Yeah.
ask the questions and you answer the question.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but I mean.
I guess depending on what the objective is.
Right.
Like in the beginning, it was an interview because that was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's crazy how the first time you were the first interview and the first conversation, it's you.
Right.
I don't know, man. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Appreciate that, bro. I know it takes a lot out of you, but...
Oh, man.
But
that first...
bro, like...
I think I'm a lot better from where I came from that first video.
Big time.
You guys
Big
seen
time.
that first video? Big difference.
And that was my first interview, so he didn't make it easy on me, and I didn't make it easy on him. Because he was like... I'm looking at him. I know you guys couldn't tell in the camera, but he was like super nervous, you know?
I was sweating. I was...
He was stutter on basic stuff, so I'm like, come on, bro, you don't do that when we're talking, you know?
Yeah, no,
So, and I'm laughing at you, and that doesn't make it professional or anything after that.
Puts
You
me
know?
in a worse. Like,
Yeah, and that's the part that I kind of beat myself up about. I'm like, why did you do that?
I was like this. Why is Hussein laughing? You know?
Yeah. And I knew you knew that I was laughing at you, and that you were kind of getting a little bit pissed off because I was laughing at you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
interviews is not my thing, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's
but
tough.
it's good to kind of like push out. And you're the one who always reminded me after you listened to some of the TED Talks and some of the motivational stuff. Do something every day that's uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, I remember I watched. Yeah,
and that's actually one of the reasons that motivated me to drag you into it.
Yeah.
You know, and even the second time around.
Even the second time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not as intense. Like before, when I think like 3 days ago, I watched that video of the first one.
Yeah, just to
And
kind
it
of
was
get
just
in
like,
your mindset.
what the hell?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But I don't know. Physically, I feel kind of like
Better?
I'm really here and I'm better.
Yeah.
But I still have the
I
internals.
attribute that to something else, but
I still have the internals going on. So, but yeah, back to the question. I think the interview's going very well.
alhamdulillah.
Very well, alhamdulillah.
I can sense that you're calm, peaceful.
Yeah.
You're not anxiety ridden.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
That's a good thing, man.
Alhamdulillah.
And even for me, I might not seem like I'm nervous in certain situations, or I'm not thinking I am. You know, certain things are extremely hard for me. So, but the thing was to override that and actually make that the new norm.
Yeah.
You know.
So let me ask you, what's the biggest advice for somebody that's struggling with their finances? let's say they're living from paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yeah.
How do you get out of that paycheck to paycheck mentality or actuality, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great question, and I appreciate you posing that question, and I'll flip it back to you as well so you could put your input as well, because it is a conversation, right?
Right.
And not an interview.
Right. Yeah,
And I
sure.
appreciate you taking that initiative to ask these amazing
Absolutely.
questions, because I feel like these are some of the same questions that I would ask you. And it's important to ask the questions that we benefit from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not what we think other people will benefit from. Because if I'm benefiting, whether somebody else benefits or not, it's up to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to be asking you questions of stuff that, I mean, we do this all out of the regular show environment anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like having these types of opportunities, you know what, can I just point something out before I answer that question? Doing these interviews and these conversations, it feels, I'm so passionate about it, because I get to learn things from people that it took them years to pick up or learn that lesson, you know? So, in every conversation, there's one big highlight that I take. And by stacking those lessons, it's either something that I knew or I forgot, or something new, and then I put it onto my plate and I put it a part of my routine.
Right.
So I really, really appreciate that. And the whole point of this is having these types of conversations. I feel like so privileged, you know, to push for something that I didn't even, and I still don't know what the outcome is. You know, that's the part that still gets to me. But to know that I'm enjoying the process is an amazing. To sit with somebody like you, a close friend of mine, and asking questions like that. And we're not young anymore. You know what I mean? We're not we're professionals in these professional fields.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like that, but I found out that I need to upgrade my mindset software, where we have to perceive certain things bigger than we think it is, even though we have to be humble about it. Because this thing is very, very serious.
Absolutely.
You know?
I agree.
So I just wanted to kind of rant on that a little bit, and I don't like the word rant, but just to express my emotions a little passionately about how grateful I am that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us these types of opportunities that are, you know, unbelievable to me. So alhamdulillah, getting back to that question, what are the ways of getting out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle?
Yeah.
And how to improve the financial situation, right? Overall, for me, and like I said, I'm not coming from an expert situation. I'm coming from like somebody who's in the process of struggling and kind of found some solutions that I'm trying to add on. So for me, I feel like having a budget is huge, and knowing how to set a budget. I remember for more than 10 years, literally, like I was going back and forth with budgeting. I thought I knew how to do it when in reality I didn't know how to do it, because this is how you know a budget works, is that you're progressing financially.
So let me cut you off.
Yeah.
How do you? Because I think, like, people, they have a budget, right? Like,
Right.
everybody thinks of a budget. They know how much to spend, how much not to. Like, nobody's gonna go to.
Right. The I get what you're saying.
How do you follow that budget? Let's say, for example, I have a $100 budget,
Right.
and then through the week I have a $100 budget. How do I strictly follow that budget?
Man, I'm getting the chills right now because I've recently truly found the answer to that question.
Okay.
And you know me better than anybody else. Like, I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but if I know it, I won't be shy to express it.
Sure.
You know.
Right.
But if I don't know it, I will say I don't know it. And if I'm missing the mark, you correct me on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing is this. It's so simple. It's to have financial goals, right? It's like the most basic thing ever. Like, if you would have told me, like, yeah, tell me something else.
Right.
But you have to have financial goals, not financial goals that is just roaming in your head, but ones that you've listed and you found out the one that you're going after.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, suddenly what you're making becomes a priority. What you're spending in what you're making becomes a priority, because you have to have a certain level of income to cover your business or professional expenses, right? And take whatever net income that you've had, cover your personal expenses, so you can have enough money to save for whatever you're going after. So it puts that whole system in perspective, and that's essentially the basic idea of the financial system.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Does it?
That makes
Bro,
perfect sense.
I
Because
appreciate that.
if you have a certain goal,
Yeah.
right, let's say I'm trying to get 2 bottles of water.
Right.
I'm trying to save $5.
$1.50.
Yeah,
Five.
$5.
Right.
If I have that goal and I know in the back of my mind I need $5 to buy these things,
Right. And it's important enough to you.
right? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna spend if I get $5 or $2 or $3 or whatever it is. I'm not gonna
Right.
spend as much.
Right.
So
Exactly. So it puts you in check. And to your point, you're right. Everybody thinks about budgeting because they have to work within their means.
Right.
But is it within their means in a fruitful way that they're actually progressing towards achieving these financial goals that they have set, and even bigger than the financial goals, these life goals? Because I struggled with focusing on finances because of the taboos that I've carried, right? But what I found out is, in order to go to Umrah, what do you got to pay?
A bunch.
A lot of money. To go to Hajj, even more so, right? And those are some of the most amazing things that you could do in your life. And not to say money is everything, but money is a part of the equation that helps you do certain things. You know what I mean?
Bro, I get it, and
Yeah.
it just hit. It just like
Talk to me. That's what I want to know.
it just went to like you're absolutely right. Like we or a lot of people that do budget don't have a goal they're budgeting for. There's nothing we're like saving for. We're just saving, if that.
Right.
makes
If
sense.
that's the key word. Yeah.
But like you said, if you have a goal and you're saving for a car,
Yeah.
you know, you're not gonna
An
spend
exact goal.
right. You're
Yeah.
not gonna spend as much, and you're gonna put some aside every time.
Right.
So I guess that's really it. I mean, a lot of us
Yeah.
don't have goals or financial goals that we're
Working
saving for.
towards.
So
Yeah.
the budgeting aspect is missing for that reason.
Yeah.
That
Or
makes-
a couple of other parts, and you've already mentioned it, that it's so simple, but it's very profound at the same time.
right.
The devastation to me is we think we have financial goals because we're like all over the place with I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get this. But do you have one specific goal that you're
Working towards
lining everything towards?
Yeah.
You know, that's the part that even for me was missing.
No, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
really huge. A lot.
And we talked about this before.
Yeah.
You know what a day or two ago, 3
Yeah.
days ago, whatever. But it's like, and then having the opportunity to talk about it again, like that solidifies. You know, the teacher learns twice.
No, that's solid. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So that's definitely true.
There's a lot more to say, but I feel like that's the stage one. Is just to have your financial goals. The other things that I feel like I'm still struggling with, but becoming better at, is just in the beginning I didn't know what I was making. I didn't know what I was. Obviously, my financial strategies are always changing, but my financial overall picture is like make, manage, and maximize. Right, that's my overall arc strategy.
Right.
So before I didn't know that was even there, even though it sounds so simple. One of the things that I've realized is like we don't know the difference. This sounds crazy, like and it's true. We don't know the difference between our saving, our paying bills and spending, and giving. Like we don't know the difference. What I mean by that is like when I started off on this financial maximization journey, obviously because of so much financial pain coming in my life, I didn't really realize that that what I thought was spending was actually giving. And what I thought was saving, well, I guess you can't really mess that up too much, but there wasn't any. There wasn't any, you know?
That's a good perspective to look at it. Spending, being, giving.
Yeah. Saving, spending, and giving. But most of us like cannot tell the difference between. It sounds so basic too. That's the part that gets to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, isn't this a giving? After a little bit of thought, no, this is not a giving. This is a saving. So what are flipping it back to you? And I don't know what you did with your hands. Is that the nervousness?
I just realized it's all of this. I hope you all don't see this.
They can't see it, but I just thought I'd make a big deal out of it. So, you know what I mean? Growth opportunities.
But yeah.
But so that's my perspective, and I think there's a couple of more, but I feel like those are the major points that my beginning steps were.
No,
So what are your thoughts on that?
I think they nailed it. I was genuinely asking because I've always struggled with that, right? I'm always trying to save.
Yeah.
What am I saving for? Like, you're right. I don't have a goal, and if I do, it's like
General, like in the back of your mind, roaming around with so many different things.
Right. So definitely for me, that clicked, and getting that goal and working towards that gives you that budgeting skill and opportunities to actually save towards something, which makes perfect sense.
Alhamdulillah. So, but what is your take on it as well? Because I'm pretty sure you've been in the process and you've seen certain things as well.
Like as far as budgeting.
No, just overall, how to like the question that you asked, how do you financially improve and find your way outside of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle?
I don't know. I'm sure you've heard about Utah, right?
I think so. Utah?
Utah.
Oh, Utah. I'm like, Utah, we live in here, bro. What are you talking about? Utah, yeah. So explain that so the non-Somali audience. Well, so maybe some of the Somalian people.
Let me tell you, for the longest time, I never could have, it never clicked.
Yeah.
Utah never made sense to me.
100% on the same page with you.
It never made sense. So let me tell you why it started making sense to me. So before, it never made sense to me. I was like,
why would I give my money to somebody else that I could do for myself?
It's the stupidest thing. Give money to somebody else to hold it for you, potentially not getting that money back, or somebody just bailing out or doing this. There's a lot of risk in it, right? It's like, why the hell would I do that? And then I needed money.
Yeah.
So Ayuta was suddenly made sense to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but basically Ayuta is
I like that.
You get a bunch of people, like 5-6 people,
or more or less
10 people that they're trusted and well known, and each person pays 1,000 monthly. Right?
Yeah.
And then those 10 people will.
It's basically like a money saving system, right?
Yeah, you can really technically do it with your own self, with the bank or savings.
Yeah, but the accountability is not as much.
Yeah, and you don't get
the money
10,000 upfront one time
unless you're number one.
Right.
Right.
So that's the advantage, and that's why it started making sense to me, because when I didn't need money, not that I was, but I was alright. But then when I needed money and I was really behind,
then you're like how useful that was for you.
Ayuta suddenly made sense to me. It's crazy, but that was what was I answering? What was the question? Ayuta being part of budgeting. Yeah,
the whole way of getting ahead financially. Yeah. And getting out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle.
Yeah, but if you're in a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, I don't think Ayuta is for it. It's not for you. It doesn't make sense.
Why?
How do you? You're one of the risks. For example, if you're a paycheck to paycheck, you're barely having that amount to come up with. Unless you
that's the part that I disagree with.
Wait, unless you
and then we had this conversation about
it. So if you're the first person and you take it, let's say I'm struggling, I'm live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm in Ayuta for 10 people.
Yeah, so that's the extreme example.
Right. So if I take it first, then it makes sense.
Right.
But if I'm
not really, even depending on what the needs are and how urgent it is.
Well, if you take it first, then you have the flexibility of paying.
Right.
It can get you off with some bills. You have 10,000.
Yeah.
So 5,000 goes to bills or whatever. It gives you some leverage.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to save, which is the point of Ayuta, doesn't make sense. Because if you have nothing to save, you're living paycheck to paycheck.
And that's the point that I would have thought the exact same thing as well. Mm-hmm. But I realized the reason why you don't have anything to save is the reason why you should save.
Right, you should save, definitely. Yeah. But I don't think Ayuta is the...
Yeah, I don't think I would recommend an Ayuta right off the bat, unless it's something like $100. You know what I mean?
I think you have to be not stable, but you have to be able to
fork out some
to Ayuta to make sense.
Yeah, but one of the reason why I'm saying
it puts you in a better situation once you're able to do this, and then you get one big sum at one time, and then it gives you some leverage to figure things out and then go back towards it.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
No, that's good though. I mean, I align with you, but the part that I'm not fully aligning is I feel like the Ayuta will get them to start thinking. It's like taxes, right?
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, because now it's like it's done, and then now they have to work for whatever else that they need.
Yeah, it's just like what you said right now, that financial goal. That YouTube could have been that financial goal of starting to save.
Right. So
Yeah, you can work. Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, again, it depends. Like I think I get your point where if you're not in a good financial situation, a yuta will be more of a burden rather than a help. Yeah. So I agree with that.
And then you're putting other people's money at risk and people taking risk on you and all of that. So and not being able to come up with the funds. Then you mess with everybody's money. Then it's a bigger problem. You know.
I don't want to be in that circle for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Talking to you and go to the extreme.
Start reading some Ruqya on you. I feel you.
But yeah, I think that's another way of budgeting that can work.
True. That's came out of left field, but it's so true because, like I said, like you said, like I didn't think about how important it was until like not when I needed the money. I guess in my case, when I knew how important savings was. And the fact that this would be an additional, not the only saving mechanism for me, but an additional mechanism that I could like discipline myself from. So
yeah, man. Anybody that knows me knows that I was like,
that's the dumbest thing.
That's the stupidest thing anybody can ever do.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And then so it clicks.
Yeah. When the need arises, the way opens up. Yeah.
It's different.
That's good, man. So I think that that's a definitely solid strategy, man. And I think maybe some people are doing. I've heard somebody that was doing like 15, 20 grand per month ayutas. I was like,
How many people is that?
I don't know, but that's some different level type of stuff.
You gotta be well off to do 15,000 a month.
Yeah. So I was like, all right.
Can you imagine taking the first sum on that?
That's a house down payment if not the full house.
Straight cash.
Yeah. Well, I guess not nowadays in Utah, but I guess depending on how big the.
Depending on how many people are in it.
Yeah.
That's.
I'm trying to, if I'm able to, like, if I ever get to a financial situation where I can afford to be in a $300,000, like per month overall type of Utah, that's kind of what I'm looking for because I need to get some house. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're working with $3 right now, but hey, man, let the goals be big, right?
For sure.
The main thing, the reason why I say that is because I guess maybe we can get into it. What ways can a person? There's other big problems that I have. One of them is how can someone purchase a house without riba and not waiting all these years to save? And the only thing that I thought about was ayuta, so I wanted to kind of get your perspective on that.
I actually thought about that before. I think we discussed this.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
When you were in diapers or something.
We were trying to figure out a way to do ayuta and still come out with like house, right?
Yeah.
Or a big payment.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah. I think there is a way to like systemize it.
Yeah.
To make it be that way, but I just don't know it yet, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's smart. I know people that do it, but it's not like the amount of. It's not that amount of to buy a house, right? You're gonna have to do maybe like 2 or 3 ayutas to be able to come out with the house.
Right.
But yeah, that's an interesting one because the banks, the Islamic banks that say it's Islamic,
quote unquote.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's be honest. We don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know whether it's true or not. Some of it seems fishy. Some of them I'm still trying to figure it out.
My understanding. So let me say what my understanding of the Islamic bank is, right?
Yeah.
So you buy a house. No, so this house is 300,000, right?
Yeah.
You're the Islamic bank. I come to you, hey, say, man, I really want this house. It's 300,000.
Yeah.
I come to you. You do the paperwork, blah blah blah. I get approved.
Yeah.
You go and then buy this house for me.
Right.
You buy it at, so the value is at 300.
Right.
You bought it at 310. Okay.
Okay.
And then you come back to me and you sell it to me for 650.
Yeah.
And they call that profit. But technically, what they basically did is they counted the interest rate into that rate and called it profit. So they count
that's where the craziness is.
Whatever the interest rate, let's say the interest rate is 4.5.
Yeah.
So they're gonna count 4.5 in 30 years or whatever the term is.
And then just lump it into
that, and then just change the name from interest to profit. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Allahu alam, but
Yeah. See, that's the well. I guess some of them or most of them. I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't really dug deep into it to know.
But I think the money aspect, I think that's how it works with Islamic banks,
yeah.
my opinion. But the benefits of them is more like the structure and
Yeah.
the payment
And being able to purchase it up front.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
those are the more Islamic aspects to it,
Yeah.
rather than the payment of it. But what are your thoughts on that? How do
Yeah.
you
I thought I answered first, or you did.
did you? No, I answered first. You asked me.
Yeah.
And I answered.
I'm not satisfied with all the answers
No?
that you
Ah,
gave.
shoot.
I want you to give me a little more.
I really don't.
Because
know,
that's
bro.
one part of it, and that's huge, right?
Yeah.
You hit the main point, but I feel like there's other points that because of your research, you can at least give some more.
I really
input on.
don't know. Like I don't know another way to come.
Yeah.
On. Actually, you know, the actual bank, offer the same thing. It's a fixed rate.
Right, but then that's interest, and this
Yeah.
is profit.
That's the only difference to me, in my opinion. The only
Yeah.
difference is the terminology.
Right.
Profit, interest. That's the only thing that's
So-
changed.
So then the question comes: what is the right way of doing it? You know.
I don't know. If y'all know, man, find me, tell me how.
Holla at us.
I'm still searching for that.
Give me your phone number. Oh, my fault. You're married now, so I apologize. That was my pre-marriage mindset. You heard me?
Yeah, man. It's. I think a lot of Muslim Somalis, our community, our people we know, I think a lot of us struggle with that. That's what we want to do, but we just don't know how to,
Yeah.
get to that point.
True.
What are your insights, man? You tell us.
I lie, bro. It's the same, pretty much the same thing. The only thing that I'm thinking right now is like that 300,000 or whatever the house cost. Putting yourself in a position where you could be in that ayuta. But then it feels like if you have that much of an income, you should be able to save within a reasonable time.
Yeah, but even then, like, let's say you do come up with that 300,000 and you're in several Utahs and it takes you 5-10 years
No, within a year.
or whatever.
Yeah.
A year,
Or
2
however.
years. Yeah. Then what? Then you have the 300,000. You go buy cash out.
Right.
You get some problems if you do that in America.
What do you mean?
To buy $300,000 cash,
Yeah. What kind of problems?
like federal problems.
No, that's upon them. As long as I'm getting the money legally and paying my taxes, where's that problem going to come from?
It's just not the thing to do, right? In America, like everybody's either going through a bank, take the interest,
Yeah.
or this and that. When you do cash out or this and that, it kind of red flags.
No,
Sometimes.
let it red flag. This is where the money came in. This is how much you guys took out of it. This is my legal money. What you guys got
Well,
problem
you
with?
can explain it, but
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that concern is more like for the people who try to do, stuff under the table,
Yeah.
where it's like, sometimes we're guilty when we're not, we feel guilty when we're not guilty.
Mhm.
So it's like, to me, I'm like, if you're going to, what is the problem with that, But I do understand your point. It's like everybody's leveraging that, barely anybody. I mean, there are people that are out there paying cash for stuff,
Yeah.
but it's completely the minority.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's definitely the minority.
yeah, and especially being black and Muslim,
Right.
it's a extra.
Because like non-Muslims, right? They rather, even if they have the $500,000 sitting in their bank,
Yeah,
they rather go through the interest payment and the bank system and all of that, and just monthly slowly paying for this.
right. Whether they have it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing, man. Like, for being a Muslim, one of the things that keeps coming back to me is, like, this dunya is temporary,
Absolutely.
So I'm like, and that's the back and forth. Like, why work so hard on something that's temporary and that's guaranteed, right? Generally speaking. Why work so hard on something that's at the expense of something that's everlasting and not guaranteed?
Right.
So that's the part that really, like, when I hit that, I'm like, all right, bro, I need to go back to the masjid.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a tough balance for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard,
But the other part that motivates me to keep pushing for that is, it's like, if you would have asked me, give or take 5 years ago, what do you think about retirement? You know what my response would be?
What's up?
When I'm in the grave. That's when I retire. 5 years later, A couple of things ain't moving right. You know? I get up, I hear a little bit khaja, khaja. I'm like, all right, what was that retirement thing again?
Yeah, man.
Because I realized, like, man, like when you're young, your thought process is completely different than when you start getting older, you know?
Right. Oh,
And I'm like,
sure.
whew, man.
Sure.
And then I look ahead and I'm seeing people who are in retirement age. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, whoa. I can see how much they're struggling, like, you know, with the physical aspect of it, and just everything's just harder. Whereas for us right now, it's like, you know, obviously everybody deals with motivational problems and discipline and whatnot, but we get up and go,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But we can't get up and go as fast and as quick and as hard right now as is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, let alone when we get to full, you know, retirement age.
For sure.
So it's like, that part of it is like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How can I put myself and my family in a situation where we're set in a way? Not set like, you know,
Yeah,
but like reasonably set where we're not worrying about the basic stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. What is your thought? What are your thoughts on retirement? Are you on that? When I hit the grave moment?
Yeah, there's times like I'm thinking the same, and then there's other times that I need to get it together and figure things out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you nailed it. It's just having that balance, man. I think that's what's most important. Trying to figure that out, not
True.
going extreme one side or the other, you know.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, man. I feel like this could easily go another hour, but we're already at an hour.
Yeah. Wow. I feel
Yeah.
like 10 minutes.
Sure. To you, it felt like 10 hours, bro.
Oh man.
Nah, I genuinely enjoyed it, man. I feel
That's
like
awesome, man.
I feel like we probably hit something, right,
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
show.
Absolutely. For me, what I took out of this,
Hey,
what I took out of
that's
this,
what I'm talking about.
what I took out of this was the whole budgeting.
Yeah.
And actually, how would like having a goal
Yeah.
and working towards that goal and budgeting for that goal, rather than just saving and then, oh man, I need this and I need that, and then what the hell did you save for? You know.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm definitely gonna take that.
For sure.
Inshallah,
Man.
work on something that I really want
Yeah.
and I need,
Exactly.
and save towards that and work towards that,
Yeah.
and actually really legitly budget for it,
Yeah.
rather than just budgeting and then using it, and it's like, what the heck?
Sure, man.
Where's the money I saved? What's your take? What do you take out of
I
this?
think for me, what I took out of it is like we all have similar or same thoughts and feelings and goals, and like it's extraordinarily important to have these types of conversations.
Mhm.
You know, for me personally, that's the biggest thing that I took from it. Because I mean, we talked, we do this, but we never really connected like this.
Right,
You know,
for sure.
I don't know. Like, is that what
Yeah.
what it seems like?
Yeah,
But to me, I'm like, man, like we all have similar goals, similar things, and the more we tap into each other's, you know, knowledge and experience and results, the better things will become.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
So I feel like I that's the part that I genuinely appreciated, and just having that, you know, that other wisdom coming into the same equation. Like it either validates what I was thinking, or it gives me something that I didn't consider before.
Right.
You know, so I think that's my biggest takeaway that I appreciate it.
Another thing I would add is, based off the first interview
Mm.
and compared to this, I
Yeah.
think for me,
Yeah,
it's better like having the conversation type and rather than the
I
interview
100% agree.
because it's more genuine and it's more just like free flow. You know, you just say what you have to say and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Whereas the interview, you're like,
What is he gonna ask next?
what do I have to say? How do I say this? How do I put this? You know.
Yeah.
But I don't
True.
know. For me, it felt the conversation type felt better.
True. I'm 100% there. My only concern is the people who can't conversate.
Yeah.
So you're over here like, hey, what do you think of? And then it turns into an
Like,
interview.
Honestly, me too. Like, I didn't think I can conversate, but I think I did pretty well.
What y'all think? Give them, be honest. I know internet don't care, right?
Yeah.
Be honest. What you guys think?
I
For those who probably watched the first one and those who are going to watch it, compare it to this one. What do you guys think?
Big difference.
Be for real. Be for real.
But yeah, like before even like doing this whole thing,
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell am I gonna say? Like how it's
Yeah.
gonna be awkward. It's gonna be this. But Allah, I don't know. It felt to me. I don't know how you felt, but to me, it felt just
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it felt amazing, man.
But,
Sometimes it's like these types of conversations are the highlights of my day, you know,
yeah, for sure.
because it's like the amount of progress internally that you do from conversations like this is just, to me, is amazing, man.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to doing more of this, and I'm pretty sure this is not the last time I'll see you.
Inshallah.
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 I don't have to beat you up about it next time, right? Huh?
Inshallah.
I mean, talk to me.
No, inshallah, man.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I feel like we connect on so many different levels, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why some of these conversations are a little bit more beneficial, because I'm not worried about you judging me on certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Whereas,
That's the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. Even like, getting on and all this. There's gonna be judgment.
yeah, either way.
There's gonna be judgment. You could either way. You can be good. You can be bad.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna have something to say. Man.
true, man.
Judgment is always gonna be there. So even for myself, like I'm not saying of others. Even myself, I do that. You know. So,
Yeah.
It's whatever, man. It's hard to understand that and accept it, but that's really the reality.
True, man.
So.
Alhamdulillah. I think maybe, unless you have something else to add on to it, I would like to finish off on one last question, inshallah. Inshallah. You got something else that you want to... Be for real. Like,
I
don't
don't.
just say no because you want to get out.
No, I don't. I have nothing. I said it all.
Yeah.
Well, let's face up our conversation.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. I feel like I still have a couple of things, but
Let it out,
you always save it for... You want to?
What do I say? So let it out.
Let it out.
Whatever question you have. What's the question?
Hell, I don't know what your take on this is, but one of the things that I struggle with is like the healthcare coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do you, number one, get yourself to afford it, and number two, how do you get to a position where it's Sharia compliant, you know, rather than kind of being dismissive about it in a way.
Oh.
In a way. So I mean, that's a deep-ended question,
Yes.
but
Huge.
what is your take on that aspect of it?
The Sharia part of it, I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
Sadly, I can't speak on it, but
Yeah.
well, what exactly you're asking? Cause
How can so I guess that's very deep end.
no, it's tough. I mean, especially with the way the system is set up and everything, it makes it super tough for us Muslims,
Yeah.
right? But
I guess just to give you a little bit more insight is trying to get, you know, whether you have it or not, it's like you're still in that situation where the first question is, can I afford getting healthcare coverage either through my employer or on my own, right? Okay. First of all, how do you put yourself in a position to have the finances to be able to afford it? Okay. The second part of it is, and just give me what your answer or input would be. The second part of it is, as a matter of fact, it's actually opposite of that. The first question is healthcare coverage insurance halal, right? Okay. If it is, then how can someone put themselves in a position where they can afford that? You know, not only for themselves and their spouse, but also for their children, and so forth and so on. You know, and I have like half of a solution, half of a thing that I'm slowly but surely working towards right now. But there's still a lot of that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of inner conflict. So what's kind of been your experience or your thoughts? And I'm not trying to tell you to give me a verdict on it, like you said.
Not that I even can, but
right. But it's like, it's good conversation. Like, even the fact that you're admitting that and you're not just trying to, you know, I'll be honest with you, I still don't, you know? So and I'm trying to figure it out myself.
So the halal part of it, it's weird because this is the same thing with the home financing.
Yeah.
There's some scholars and sheikhs and people that will tell you yeah, it's halal because of this and this and this,
Right.
and then others will tell you, yeah, it's not because of this and this and this.
Right.
So you don't know which way to go. Even with home financing, like Islamic banking, and
That's
all
a
of that.
really good point.
They,
And I'm glad that you actually allowed me to say it rather than leaving with it.
yeah, it's crazy. Like you don't know which direction. It's either yes you can, or no you can't, right?
Yeah.
But it's very vague. Some people will tell you yes you can because of A, B, and C, and then others are telling you no because of D, E, F. You know,
Right.
things like that. So in that aspect, it's extremely difficult, and I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
In the aspect of how to afford it and go about it,
Yeah.
I looked at it a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and
As
I
a
was-
single person, it's probably not that much, right?
right, and I was trying to get coverage, right, and I noticed that if I did it myself and I was trying to pay it out myself and get an insurance plan myself,
Yeah.
it's a lot more than
Doing it through a company because
doing
it's
it through an
subsidized.
employer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the way to avoid that, if you can afford to pay it for yourself, the extra money that goes towards, then by all means, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can, then my opinion would be to find a job that offers
Yeah.
some type of health plan and get enrolled in that.
And as in like self-employed entrepreneur, it's a whole different
Yeah,
ballgame.
exactly.
That's that purchasing directly
Right,
out
right.
front.
Right.
And
But even then, is a lot more
Yeah.
than your actual health plan with an employer, you know.
yeah.
So that's what I observed. So, what's your take on it?
I think it's pretty much what you said, bro.
Yeah.
It's like literally going to find out what the ruling is and the conditional ruling, because that's another thing that I fully didn't consider.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was in the back of my mind, but like right when you said it, like, yeah, that is right,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So that part of it really helps, that you really have to find, you know, the truth, but do it in a balanced way. You know, not in a wish-washy way, but in a balanced way, because that's a legitimate concern.
Right. Exactly.
So, and then the second part of it is just knowing your options.
Mm-hmm.
I think my input into it is learning from what you said, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I would say the exact same thing. So that's what I need to find solutions for.
Yeah. You would think it'd be more affordable if you want to do it yourself.
Yeah,
That's completely the
Yeah.
opposite.
yeah.
I don't know
But
what
if
that
you-
is.
I guess the reason is the company that you're working for wants to make sure that you're staying an employee. So as an incentive and as a benefit package, they pay for a portion of it, which keeps you thinking, if I go on my own, I got to come up with the full price.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense, like after you dig deeper into it, but
Right.
initially it's like, why does that even, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of what it is, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy, like, because you still have to pay the deductible, you still have to pay, you know, the percentage of coverage, you still have to, you know, reach some level of a max out of pocket, so you're still paying, you know. It's just a matter of hedging, you know, whatever else, what the potential outcome will be. And that's where, you know, the Sharia really comes in, because it's like the unknown, you know. You're trying to protect yourself from something that could potentially happen, and that's what you're paying for.
You know what I wonder? How it is in like Islamic countries.
Me too, bro.
How that plays out in Islamic countries.
Yeah.
It can't be the same way here, right?
Nah. I mean, potentially, but I would assume that it isn't.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how that plays out over there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the poor countries, right? They can't afford to. Right. It's more.
But even the poor countries, I'm sure they have something in place
Yeah.
for those that.
That can't truly
Yeah.
afford it. Yeah. No, that'd be interesting to look into, like. And I've actually like kind of thought about it now that you bring it back up. It's like, yeah, that's maybe what are our options, you know, putting ourselves in a position where we are in Islamic countries, you know.
Maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
take a trip to Qatar or some Islamic country,
Yeah.
Figure out the
Explore the system, yeah.
bring it back here, be billionaires.
Yeah.
It's copyrighted. You can't take that idea.
Now take it one way. Take it as far as you want, baby. Just give us a percentage.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you okay with that
I'm
one?
okay with that.
Do I get a piece of it since you
Absolutely.
mentioned it on the show?
Absolutely.
Alright, that's
I'm sure it
legally binding.
exists. I'm sure there's something, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I guess the other big thing, obviously we already spoke about the house. So I'm talking about stuff that I'm like, how do I even like approach this? The first one is the healthcare coverage for myself and my family.
Right.
The second one was the
Housing.
actually the fourth one is the housing.
Okay. So first was health.
2 and 3, right? 2 is retirement.
Okay.
That one I'm not like extraordinarily concerned about, because if I find the solution for the housing, that'll kind of solve this problem as well. Yeah, and I think that's kind of essentially what it is.
So with the
and the third point, so I could just like add it all up, is kids college fund. So that's something that it's definitely I want to having the privilege of making it through college. I want to make sure that my children are in the best situation possible to have the best education possible. So those are the bullet points, but I feel like maybe there's a different angle of coming to it, but I feel like if you can find a solution for the housing, that's big money, right? You can easily somewhat level to find a solution for the other ones. But what was your input on it and your take on that? Or how would you answer those types of questions with those 2 bullet points? Retirement and kids college fund.
I think that's. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Retirement and college. Would you put it as one of the same?
They're in a way they are, because you have to utilize some investment vehicles, but they're completely different because of the regulations that go along with that. Yeah.
I'm not sure, bro. I don't know. Those are all solid ones.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out.
That's good, man. I appreciate being, having the opportunity to express these things, man, and I appreciate you being the first conversation of the financial maximization show.
Yeah,
Be for real, man. I got a question on that, and I appreciate you being honest, because I feel like we've already gotten halfway of the answer, in a way, and these ones we could explore at different levels and different times. But when I'm talking, like right now in terms of the show, the title is the Financial Maximization Show. Should I say, for branding reasons, which one sounds better? The Ridwanullah Financial Maximization Show, or just the Financial Maximization Show? Knowing that it's under the umbrella of the Ridwanullah Organization.
I think the Financial Maximization Show. Was that the second part you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one.
So the Financial Maximization Show.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people already understand the platform and the Ridwanullah and the organization.
The whole thing behind it, and what don't say Ridwanullah and then halal and all of that other stuff around it. Because it's the unspoken reality.
Right.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I think that's good, man. So that way I would be able to just, because my whole thing is, can I share this with you that maybe it's beneficial, maybe it's not, and tell me what your input on it is?
Absolutely.
So obviously when you're in business, there's different models of way of making money, right? And especially when it comes to online business versus offline business. With the online business, having a media company that gives out solid information is an actual business of its own.
For sure.
To me, I didn't know that in the beginning. I'm starting to slowly but surely learn about that. Where I thought the media was just a part of your business, not the actual business.
They're putting things out?
Yeah. I thought putting things out was just a means to an end, not the actual end in itself.
Right.
Like this thing is like a standalone where the revenue streams are solely related to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like it could be the first part, it could be the second part. That's what I'm struggling with. I guess the question that I'm asking is it better to focus on it as a separate business, or to have your own business within this business, or both? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to think.
Have your own business? What do you mean? Aside from that?
Yeah. Because
doing another business aside from putting content out.
Oh, okay. So what I guess this is the part that I didn't finish off that I wanted to. There's revenue streams that people have through media, and the whole business, even though there's other parts to it, it's solely focused on media revenue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the media revenue, for me, I'm thinking, I've always had the ideas of having multiple shows, and I watched certain outlets that they started off with one show, and then they expanded into other shows. where not only are they the only host, they actually remove themselves completely from the business.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not exactly sure the question I'm asking, but
I think you can do
What-
both, right?
Huh.
You can still put content out there, get it to where it needs to, and then like slowly just getting yourself out to develop something else, or putting yourself in
Right.
situations where you're still promoting this but a different platform.
right,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole back and forth that I'm having with building a separate brand for my business versus just using my name.
Right.
Like right now, I'm in that stage where I'm gonna build Ridwanullah Organization essentially, and then if Allah Subhanahu wa Taala allows me, I'll be able to move on to that, and I guess to my personal brand. But I guess my question was, so the general idea right now is to be media business focused, and I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to, even get to an at least sufficient level with it.
I
You
think
know?
that's how everything is going nowadays.
Hmm.
The whole media aspect of it.
Yeah, because all the democratization of media, everybody has a channel now.
Yeah.
But that's the hard part, right? Just because it's open to you means it's open to everybody, and not because it's
Well,
a
it's
limiting
not-
belief. Here's my question, and I'll apologize for cutting you off.
Very good.
My question is, obviously we're seeing this happen in the non-Islamic environments, right? Knowing, and maybe this is a limiting belief, and if it is, call me out on it. You have full permission, but I just wanted to make it clear.
Yeah.
I feel like being especially black, right, and Muslim, it feels like the odds are stacked against us.
Yeah.
So how is it a possibility for me to like make the financial maximization show a thing, as well as the other 6 shows or more that I have in the pipeline? A possibility of bringing people on to host the show and people to conversate, and that's the big dream, the idea where I'll be able to be the person who builds this thing, and then have people come in under payroll, and they could be doing their own thing or not, preferably doing their own thing because that adds more value.
Right.
And that's what I'm seeing, the models that are out there that are working, that I'm trying to bits and pieces of it of my own. The other alternative is, maybe I'm just going too far into this, man, but the other alternative is having your own physical products, your own digital products, your own educational products, versus mainly the media business is mainly, revenues from the media business is mainly promoting other people's products and services and businesses and brands. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you see what I'm asking? Like,
Yeah.
is it better to focus on the media aspect of it first or second, or come up with your own products, make a water bottle, a planner, you know what I mean?
I think
Like, how do you, like, that's the stuff that I'm struggling with right now.
I think for me, I would, if I was in it, I would focus more on the media part of it, putting that out there, establishing that, and gaining some type of audience from that, and then that way, once you have like that 50 people, that 1,000 people, the following, then you can start like promoting. Oh, I got a bottle of this, I got that, I got this, I got that. Then it's gonna be, in my opinion, it's gonna be easier to advertise or market, because you have some type of following.
Right.
Whereas if you just put a product out there, then it's like it's out there to people, but
It's still available for purchase,
Right.
but
I personally want to like purchase something I don't know like of it, or
right.
obviously the product I know what it does, but like the backstory or a lot of more in-depth stuff, right? But so I think my opinion, I would focus more on the media, putting the content out there, and focusing on that and developing that and establishing that following. And then once I have my following and people there, then I would market some products to them and anybody else still. But and then that gives you more chances of your following purchasing things and doing all that,
Yeah, but that's the long game,
Yeah,
That's like literally, if not months, years.
Or you can market it just to anybody. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Or build both simultaneously.
right.
But then the question is, do you promote? This is really valuable for me, by the way. Do you promote your own products first, your own offers, products and/or services, whatever they may be, first, or do you focus on others? Like, let's say, for example, for me, I have. So this is my thing, right? And you're the guest or the sponsor. So for me, does it make sense for me to focus on, let's use water bottle, right? This is my water bottle, and this is your water bottle. Should I focus more on selling my own stuff through my media channel, or should I focus on selling your stuff because I'm getting ad revenue or affiliate revenue through you?
Yeah. For me, my opinion is if my product was like top notch and I believed in it and I think it was it and people would actually benefit from it.
Yeah.
And by all means, I would focus on my own product and market that way.
Yeah.
But if I'm just putting something out there, just to put something out there,
Just to make money, essentially.
just to make money, exactly, just
Yeah.
to make money, then I would gain the experience of promoting yours and seeing how it works and the details between that and
Yeah.
how to market this, how you're doing things, and then
Yeah.
once I get that from there, then I would do it with my own products and use that tools to do my product and promote my product.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
No, that's
Not that I have any experience in this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean that's the part of it that makes sense because you're looking at it from a genuine
Right.
perspective where you're not overthinking it like I am.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. If I had my own product, I would definitely promote that first.
Yeah.
But I would gain the experience of promoting yours and then making mine into that top notch, to that
Yeah.
level, and then start promoting.
True, because it makes sense because now you're independent, right? Now I'm not waiting for Ismail to sponsor and become an affiliate for me to make money,
Yeah, exactly.
right? I'm being proactive with my own stuff,
Mhm.
whether that's physical product, digital product, non-educational, educational, online, in person, and I'm building my own thing and having whatever additional revenue that comes through that, whether that even though it's presented here like that makes legitimate sense to me. So I appreciate that, bro. Any other questions? Because I feel like I've put it out there and
Oh man,
you're good.
I'm good. I think we've covered a lot.
A lot. But I think for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it and really benefited a lot, man.
Not sure it's mutual, 100%.
For sure.
100%.
You're not saying because we're on camera? Because you're going to tell me otherwise, like, why are you wasting
As
my
soon as the
time?
camera goes off, I'll give it to you.
You get
No, it was good, man. I appreciate it a lot. It was nice. It was genuine. It was free flow.
Yeah.
It was different.
I'm just afraid of getting to that same level with other people, but that's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So the last question that I've had was, are you and how do you use your finances to do the most important thing with it, which is to gain closeness to and achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
How do I do that?
Yeah. Are you and how do you, or what are your, how can someone do that? And what is your perspective on it?
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
I just try to give back where I can. Like, for example, if I'm saving, like,
It's interesting that you connected it to giving, but I didn't think about it like that.
yeah, I try to give back to, like, if I'm making, let's say, $1,000, right, and I have bills and I have that and I have this,
Yeah.
at the end, after all of that, there's gonna be something where there's 10 or there's 15 something, right?
Right.
And I try to put that towards something, like there's $10 or there's $5 or there's, anything of that is just, that's what I try to implement. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I forget, sometimes,
It's in between.
all of that happens, life.
Yeah.
But generally I try to do that.
Hmm.
How
Well,
about
that's
you?
very interesting, man.
What do you do? Yeah, I know you have some system in place.
I don't know if that's a smart like jab at me, but
not at all. I'm just saying.
For real, for real.
Yeah, I know you have a system in place.
I don't know. I don't know if I do, man. Honestly. I mean, the reason why I was interested, like I was kind of, it makes sense, right? But I was surprised that you related it to giving, like utilizing your finances to gain, closeness to and achieving the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It makes sense, right? Giving, right?
Yeah.
But my overall perspective was, and that I'm working on right now, is it sounds very selfish, but I feel like that's what works for me right now, is to give as much as possible, but as little as possible. It sounds very counterintuitive, meaning to give all that I can to however many people that I can, but as little as possible. So therefore, I can actually build myself up to where I need to be, whether that's personally or professionally. So within a matter of time, I'll be able to give way more because whatever I need and want are taken care of. So that's what I'm utilizing to be able to position myself.
Wait, so you're saying rather than giving, let's say, $1 to one individual person, you're going to give 4 quarters to 4 people? You know what you're saying?
Kind of, but not really. What I mean is, like, for example, like let's say I'm giving to 5 different avenues right now, right?
Okay.
Or however many there are. I'm just using 5 as an example.
Okay.
Keep those 5, so that's max, right? That's reasonably the same or a lot.
Okay.
But then I have this amount that I'm already giving, or this amount that I want, that I can give. So allocating minimal amount to each one.
More.
Minimal to each one that I'm already giving.
So you're already given this 5, right? You're already given.
Not more,
okay.
but just give minimal as I possibly can to each of these individuals. So therefore, I can have the money to be able to get the things that I need and want, and to be able to build my business. So instead of always being stuck on, whether I give that much or not, years being stuck on that same level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So therefore, later on, I'll be able to, majority, if not all of my needs and wants, reasonably, right? We're human beings, our needs always increasing.
Right.
But within reason, my legitimate needs and wants are taken care of. Therefore, I give without resentment or reserve. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. It's not selfish at all.
It feels so selfish, though.
I don't think it's selfish. I think if anything, I don't think that's selfish at all.
Yeah, that's crazy to hear back, but that's what I truly want to believe inside. But that back and forth.
You gotta take care of yourself too, right? I mean, you gotta put yourself in a situation where you can, like, rather than doing the minimal for these 5 people, you gotta take care of yourself to get to a point where you can do more for these 5 people
and more.
Yeah,
right. That's the intention,
well,
to be selfishly selfless.
Yeah. So in that sense, it makes sense. It's absolutely perfect to be selfish in that sense.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Man, yeah. I guess it's weird how we even got to that point, but yeah, it makes that. So all my life, I felt guilty to give to myself and spend on myself and buy the things that, me and my immediate family needs and wants, while trying to take care of the extended family and the ummah and the world and friends and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels, I don't know why, but it just feels so wrong. But then here's the tricky part. I feel bad for giving others something that me and my immediate family needs.
Yeah.
And it's been an ongoing thing, and I didn't expect to get this deep into it. Why you should have ended it with yours, man. SOG.
No, that's the thing. That's a real thing. It's for real.
Yeah. Godly. Now I feel like a vulnerability hangover right now. Wow, baby. Alright, I'm good. I feel like I'm being seen less of a human right now.
No, bro.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I own
it.
it.
Both, if that's the case. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I said,
it feels so wrong, though, right? In the moment.
Nah, I think if that's truly what you're trying to do, then I wouldn't feel selfish at all about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's selfish, honestly.
Alhamdulillah. That was the final question on my end. Any last parting words, summarizing conclusion? I think you were trying to wrap it up before, but we stretched it out.
No, it's perfect. I'm glad we actually talked about all the other things.
Yeah?
I said I'm glad we actually talked about all the other things.
Alhamdulillah. That's pretty good, man. I think this is not the longest we've had, but it's coming in the race for second or third.
Right. No, this is good, man. Alhamdulillah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's refreshing to me, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not saying that just because it's my show, but or because maybe it is because I'm conversating with you,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
for me, it felt just fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, compared to the first one, day and night.
Piece of cake, yeah?
So
Alhamdulillah.
maybe, I mean, for me, the conversation is my thing. Like the conversation aspect of it this way,
Yeah.
it's more for me. But other people may be the interview type. Some
Right.
other people may want to be interviewed and
Yeah.
be asked the questions and be put on the spot and
Right.
things like that. So it's just different for everybody. But
Yeah.
so for me, I definitely learned that I do better in
Conversation.
rather than
Yeah.
being interviewed.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. I mean, this is monumental for me because, and that's kind of like my favorite word right now. Monumental in the sense that you were my first interview, in all these years, two and a half years maybe.
Yeah.
I've been interviewing here and there and trying to be consistent with doing once a month now. Doing once a month now, and then to come full circle that I wanted to interview you. But then you kind of,
Bro, let me tell you.
No, it's okay, bro. Don't put.
No, listen.
You can apologize after the show. Don't put yourself. No, go ahead.
It's been difficult. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's hard, and I was dreading it.
Yeah. You're glad you did it. If I'm not putting words in your mouth.
I'm glad I did it, and the reason I was dreading it is because, like I said, maybe it was the style of
the interview. Yeah.
But
I actually like the conversation more than the interview.
Right.
So I'm gonna approach anything else after this as a conversation, and if it ends up being an interview, so be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it just depends on the person you're interviewing or the person on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own different styles. So, like I said, someone might want to be interviewed and ask these tough questions and be put on the spot, or
Right.
to them it may not even be that. To them it's just more like what me and you're doing now. You know.
Right.
So I think it's just different for everybody.
Yeah. But I think do you think it's a good idea to keep the base as a conversation?
I think even for the show, I think it's better this way, the conversation type.
Right.
You know, it's more. I don't know how others feel, but I think it's more engaging and like
beneficial.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than, hey, so what do you do?
What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
But I think that my fear is like whenever I have somebody, it'll naturally become an interview that I'm just asking them questions and they're not really having that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I guess that's a good thing because now it's like by default, if it's a great conversation, great. And, if they're so inquisitive that they're asking me a lot more questions, I'm like, okay, we'll go with that flow.
Right.
But if they're like, yeah. All right, and you're like, all right. So what about this? What about that?
That's gonna be difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Someone just said, and I thought that's how it was gonna be for me, right? But alhamdulillah, it was okay.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Oh, great, man. I genuinely appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing this for me and for you and for whoever else can benefit from it.
Alhamdulillah.
And I'm it's crazy how this came full circle, and I'm very, very appreciative, man.
No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me and getting me on here to come.
Alhamdulillah.
It's alhamdulillah, man. Like I said, I definitely learned a lot from it.
Yeah, me too, a lot, man.
The style, the budgeting, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. And it's real. It's not like some made up. Like I think maybe I'm dragging this along because I just want to spend more time with you. But I feel like in the beginning I was forcing so much.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to teach you this and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like this is what I know. This is what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like this conversation was. It's like. You put so much on the table. I put whatever I can on the table, and it's like, take it or leave it. all the benefit of it. You want to see my notes? You thought I didn't catch that, huh?
Bro, alhamdulillah, man. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I appreciate you having me.
Am I dragging this, bro?
No, I appreciate you having me the first time, being the first interviewer.
Interviewee.
We, and then being the first conversation.
Yeah.
Something.
Conversationist. I don't know.
Conversationist.
We can make up our own words, right? We got permission.
Alhamdulillah. So I appreciate you doing that, man. I appreciate coming out to the show.
For sure.
And all of that. It's awesome, man.
Final words? And I'll wrap it up on my end.
Just keep, putting this content out there, getting valuable people like myself on the show.
Yes!
I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I love it.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But
hey, there's a truth behind every joke, and I appreciate that.
Total joke.
That's a boss
joke.
move.
Total joke.
No, that's a total.
That's
boss
just me
move.
being comfortable. Alhamdulillah. The first interview, there's no way in hell I could have made a comment like that.
Right.
But alhamdulillah, I think it's been great, man. I think the show's come a long way. The content you're putting out, mashallah, everything's been good, man. And alhamdulillah, I hope nothing but success for you and more to come, inshallah, man.
For sure, man. Genuinely appreciate that, and even more so for you. Jazakallah khair. That concludes it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping things as quickly and simple as possible. But usually I like to open up with, after the initial opening up, I like to give the sponsors announcements and updates. And when we're finishing up, I like to do, summary of it and maybe some mid-rolls, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, if that money comes in. But main point is sponsors, announcements, and updates. Our primary sponsor is Ridwanullah.com. Islamic personal professional development company. You could check us out at Ridwanullah.com. Completely under construction, but it's coming up along nicely. I'm going to focus on, actually, since I learned that lesson, I'm in the process of developing even more so my own products. So yeah, I'm going to focus on releasing, whatever that means. As of right now, I'm still in the idea phase, even though I've executed on a couple. So you guys are going to expect in the next couple of months, longest years, to see some of my either offers, whether that's fit, non-educational or educational products and services coming out. It only feels right that I put all my hard work into what I'm doing, and then whoever else is going to be promoted, appreciate that, man. Whoever else is going to be promoted gets to promote through the shows overall, or just the financial maximization show, or any of the other shows that are brewing in the background in the future. So send your request, budget, and details for sponsorship to Ridwanullah Organization at gmail.com. And I'm open to doing one-off sponsorship, continuing sponsorship for advertisement, or generally. Or if you want me to become an affiliate, I'm very open to that as well. So just let me know, what we could do together. I genuinely appreciate it. And that's all I got for you guys today. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family, for tuning in to another episode of the the Financial Maximization Show. I'm your host, Hussein Mohamud, with my brother Ismail Sharif. Checking out by saying, never ever give up on completely maximizing your finances in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Raise your voice, whatever you have to do. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shaykh Ismail.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A little louder.
Louder than that?
Yeah, man.
No way.
Swear to God.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That's what I'm talking about, because it's outside of your comfort zone. Right? So we should just go?
Yeah. I'm sweaty, man.
How do you why are you so nervous?
This is not my thing, but we move.
Simple as that. That's it, bro. It's just basically that's what it is.
Yeah, you're cutting this part, right?
Nah. Actually, we're good. Actually, let's start off like that. My intention was actually to test But I like the raw nature of certain things. So
No,
can we just move
I
on?
think we should test. I think can the mic, everything's good?
Good.
All right, let's start it.
All right, let's go. From here,
Stop and
including that part.
You're gonna stop and start it
Nah.
from here?
Yeah.
Like everything's gonna be on?
Straight up.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Or should we test it?
I think we should test it personally, but
Okay.
if you want to make it raw, we can make it raw.
Alright. Damn, that's the American man.